Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome, you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TV Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker. There really is no channel like Streaker, just rhymes, by the way, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. There's no gossip, no scandal, and no cameras here. No Kanye talk form. Not now. Is that what?
All right, we're.
You to focus on your own reality show and be happy 88% of the time. Okay, is there something technically going on? It looks like there is. Let me just see what's going on here. Somebody is competing with my internet, I believe. Let's see if I can. This is not on. Is that any better?
Yeah. I can hear.
Are we good? Is that better? Okay. We had, I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. I believe it's because my younger daughter is here and her machines are maybe hooked into the wireless. Where was I? Oh, about why the show is here. You're not going to hear anything that's going on in the news right now that everyone else is talking about, because you have plenty of places to get all that. Most of the time it's bad news. CNN, constantly negative news, sorry. They're actually a really good channel compared to some of the others, like starts with F, ends with X. But I can't even say that because they did highlight me as a Women's History Month. All I'm saying is, when you come here, you're going to hear things that are going to help you be happy 88% of the time. So I'm super glad you're here. This is consecutive week 648. I just returned from streaming live in Canada, and we did a pre-record last week for the work that Larry and I are doing. But before we get into that, I just want to highlight who you're seeing in studio today, because he is my newest co-host, and he is an amazing guy who I what-cotted. So what is what-cot? What are the chances of that? I actually met Larry on an airport shuttle on my way to Canada in the spring. And I just came back from Canada again on the shuttle last night. And I was thinking to myself, how does that happen, where you meet someone, you find out they're in a related field? Larry is the best-selling author of Self-Help 2.0. He's the founder and developer of the Pondera Process, an innovative energy psychology technique that effectively alleviates distressing emotions, beliefs, and memories. As a certified practitioner with over 20 years experience, Larry's dedicated to helping individuals move forward in their lives with greater ease. His innovative approach has transformed the lives of countless people, helping them to experience greater peace, serenity, and joy. And that's why he's here. I mean, I don't often, I shouldn't say that. Maybe I have met other guests on airport shuttles and I just don't remember it. But that led to him being a guest. And then as a guest, I was very impressed and this is different than cognitive talk therapy. It's different than you know, deciding that you're going to help yourself with mental health. It's self-help, but in a body, mind, spirit way. Now that is him. And then at the same time in my life, I'm going through another transition where I have decided for some odd reason that it's time to date again. And I hadn't dated in 7 years, reverse 7-year itch. That's an older expression. If you're a millennial, you're going to need to use my assistant Google to look that up. And I, in January, when I got back from Australia, decided to start swiping. And it's been an interesting experience. I've had 20 first dates, 1 second date, no third dates. And I realized that, there's some stuff going on in me. And y'all are like, yeah, but you teach this stuff. You're right, I do. But it's beyond talk. And the whole idea behind energy healing, some of you are in yoga training, some of you are in Reiki training. You know that energy is no longer one of those woo-woo, hairy-fairy things. It's an actual thing. So one of my best friends said, maybe it's time to go back in therapy. And I'm like, I've done so much of that. And then I talked to my other friend. She's like, yeah, you don't need any more cognitive stuff, but it would be good to do something that is energy related. And then boom, this is all coming at the same time. Larry accepts my offer to co-host once a month and or invitation. And then I thought, oh, isn't it interesting that this is what he does? And this is something I need to do. And one of the best things about the show is like, it's all about me. I'm doing the show. And so voila. And this is actually, thank you for that heart. Someone just gave us a heart. Voila. This is part 3. If you missed part 1 and part 2, please go back and do that as homework. It's not required, but it'll give you a little more context to what's going on for today. But before we jump into that, I have now completely derailed the order of the show because we usually start with the gratitude sandwich. We're not going to do all 8, but those of you who tune in know that that's how I start my show. We want to start with not this MS, meaningless scrolling. Instead, we want to start with gratitude. So what are you grateful for this morning? And then we'll do a couple, and then we'll go to the bottom of the button, which is modeling for you before you go to bed, which is what do you appreciate or what are you grateful for inside of yourself? So that before you go to bed, you're not thinking about who done me wrong, what I'm not good at. Instead, you're affirming yourself and helping your own mental health by self-care. You ready? Larry, what are you grateful for?
Kind of a wacky thing. The past week or so, week and a half, the county has been coming through replacing curbs and aprons on driveways and things like that. And we have my mother-in-law with us who's on a walker and just having to work with the guys as they were tearing up the sidewalks and the street and all. And they were just incredibly nice and incredibly helpful and just very, I didn't expect as much emotional intelligence and public, communication so it was just a very positive experience. And now we have new curbs and aprons and sidewalks and, it's all great. I'm just grateful for how good those folks were.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm grateful for all the people who do service. We've been focused on thank you for your service for those who do service in the military. But there's so many people that do service, like you're saying. People in public works do service. People that deliver the mail do service. Teachers do service. There's so many people around us who serve us, and then we get mad when we pay taxes. But reality is, if you're a government worker, you're being of service, and you're getting paid through our taxes. So I know I mentioned this before, but I think I'm on a roll. I would like us to get to the point where we understand that we're all connected, that we're all helping each other, for sure. One more gratitude.
Yeah. Outside or inside?
Let's go outside, one more.
Just the last blast of summer here before we go into fall. The leaves are starting to fall, but we're getting a little warm weather in our areas. So
Yeah.
one more glimpse of the sun before we go into the rainy season.
I'm grateful for engineers. I have some clients. I'm teaching at UCLA again, and many of the students are engineers, and the engineering that is responsible for the incredible flight that I took home yesterday. I love flying, and I am grateful to engineers who, make that happen. It's such a magical thing to be on an airplane, and the WestJet pilots who were kind enough to let me sort of interview them in the cockpit. I do that. It's just like funny as heck, but super nice. First autopilot. That's AI, by the way, that is helping to land in the extreme fog last night. So I'm grateful for AI, for those of you who are on this mission to be afraid of it. Sorry. and say horrible things about it. There's an upside to everything. All right. Let's go to the bottom of the bun. What we're doing is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich every weekday morning on this show to start your day in the most positive way. What do you like about yourself, Larry?
I think being resilient is something that I learn. Instead, when you get knocked down or life's challenges, because they're all growth opportunities, are you going to be a victim, or are you going to find a way to be resilient?
I appreciate that I know in every moment I have a choice, and that I'm not perfect, and it's okay when I'm not perfect.
Exactly.
And I don't have to take on other people's poop if I choose not to. All right, that's it for today's breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Larry Burton.
And you're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using a Gift Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And this is very special series every first Thursday of the month. This time we've actually had 3 weeks in a row in order to help me with getting rid of some of the infected energy from my past. But thank you for joining us for breakfast. We're going to take a quick sponsor break and news and weather, but we'll be back in 2 and 2. Don't go away. Not Chuck Woolery, but a peace in and peace out. We'll be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using a Gift Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on NBC News Radio, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my show Central. This is show number 1239, but who's counting? But we're so glad that you're here. Today is the part 3 and possibly the last part of the series. We are demonstrating the Pondera Process on the victim of the day, which is me, and the volunteer, and certainly the taking advantage of the expertise of my co-host, and growing and learning and getting better at loving myself. So, Larry, you want to give a little commercial about this process and sort of the how people can learn about it, how they can also participate. Certainly, we're doing this out loud so that you can work along with me. And those of you, I see eyeballs rolling in, who have been part of this process because they want better relationships. Welcome back. We're doing part 3 today, but I'm going to pull up your website and show people what we're doing. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the Pondera process. Pondera is just simply Latin for the balance. And what we're doing is balancing the energy. And over the last 20 years, I've been working and refining this process. And you can see on there the Pondera path. You can get to that through empoweredselfhelp.com. These resources in front of you are all free. And what we do is just start with where you're feeling distress. And I think Marissa has something that she wants to address today. And then you can proceed down the path dealing with the underlying emotions, the beliefs, and the memories, and ending with gratitude. And what happens is that when you tap into that power, which is more than yourself, which is really within you, is your superpower. And it's that energy of love, which is the most powerful and highest vibrating energy in our world. And you can bring that to bear on whatever is causing you to stress, balance the energy around it, and that allows you to shift it more easily. So you can reduce the intensity of the emotion. It's easier to reframe and change a belief, and easier to reframe memories when you use this process. We were taught traditional self-help, which is a mind-body approach for a variety of historical reasons. But we now know that our world is really mind, body, and energy. And that is well known. You think of nuclear reactors. That's because we know that energy is part of atoms. So emotions, beliefs, and memories all have an energy signature to them that you can then intentionally work and balance. And that allows you to move forward with a much greater ease. So, and when you go to the website, you'll see the Pondera path, and you'll see a number of resources below it that are all for free so that you can begin to start helping yourself. And then there's a membership site there where at a very low price point can help you with videos and audios, and I can walk you through each step of the path so that you can help yourself more effectively.
Great. So I have now been through 2 sessions where Larry's helped me go to the energy behind the pain. So y'all know I'm one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. I've been very specific about that trauma in the statements that I am addressing using the Pondera process to remove the energy that is trapped with the pain in those memories. So, you know, the difference between talk therapy and somatic therapy, I would classify this as somatic therapy, is that it's a form of somatic. So you're doing more than just changing this. So I'm really good at changing this, and I'm really good at, you know, being resilient and, you know, strong, and I make my choices on the thoughts that I think, but that doesn't necessarily heal the energy behind those thoughts, which is what I've been learning with Larry. So he has this process. I'm going to do it again. And the interesting thing about today is going to be, I just got back from Canada and spent time with family. And as I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh. No, it's Eckhart Tolle who says, if you think you're enlightened, spend a week with your family. And Larry's talked about that. He just had also a big family gathering. And, you know, their family's really good at triggering. You know, it's like you go home and you become whatever, 13 or 2 or whatever age where you're just a whole, pile of knee-jerk reactions. And so it's normal. And at the same time, wouldn't it be great if you could heal those parts of yourself so that you're not so triggered? And that's what I was doing. And I've been practicing, but it's really when you're your mom, who you've forgiven cognitively for the pain and the damage and the not well-meaning, more mean than well mom. And I've been quite open about the statements that I've heard as a child. And then you go back and throw them a 90th party, and there's some things said again that I was like, I don't know about present pain. Should I also speak about that? Out of respect to her. But she doesn't know any better. And this is about healing. And as much as I can be a conduit and an example, and I know I'm not alone, this is a good thing. So I was waiting for the nod to actually be real today around I'm coming back from a point of, leaving my mom. I had to leave her to go teach at UCLA on Zoom, and she wasn't ready for me or my daughter to leave. And she did her normal stuff, and it was painful, and lots of emotions, and they're going to come out today because I don't want it to be infected and stay there as a memory not treated. So we're going to work with that today. And then whatever else we have time to do. So that's the preamble. That is the context. Let's do this.
So give me, what is the tip of the iceberg? What is the pain that you're feeling first and foremost?
So the pain is I'm not ever going to get rid of the feelings that I'm never going to make her happy. I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be worthy, no matter how much work I do on myself. Feeling like a piece of shiitake and just like disappointing her, disappointing everyone. Is just going to be a part of my life. And that pain is like right there. Oof. And it's like this whole big piece all the way down. And it's like my daughter's, you don't have to go visit her. You don't have to, other people have said that. And that doesn't feel right either, but it's so painful, to be, you don't love me, you don't, and that same, you're a bad daughter, you're a bad person, all of that stuff.
Okay. And if you were to put that pain into one or two words, what would you call it? What would you?
Stupid, ugly.
Okay. So there. And close your eyes. Focus on that space where you're feeling it, right behind your upper torso. Does it have a color?
Black.
Or a
gray.
shape? Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and put both hands over your heart center. And just repeat after me. I dedicate this session.
I dedicate this session
to that which is highest and best for me.
To that which is highest and best for me.
And anyone else.
And anyone else.
That may benefit from it.
That may benefit from it.
And take a deep breath.
And
switch hands. And take another deep breath. And breathe in that golden white light from your higher power, from source, from your UPS man. Breathe that down into that darkness. Everything that led up to. My feeling. Stupid and ugly. After being with my mother.
About being with my mother.
In my chest. Happened. It's over.
It's over.
And I am safe now.
And I am safe now.
And breathe in that golden white light from source into where you're feeling the pain.
Yeah, it's like right.
Yeah. So just breathe that loving light directly into it. And switch hands.
Mm.
And continue to breathe in deeply the energy of that loving light. I apologize
I apologize
to everyone that I have hurt
to everyone that I have hurt
related to this feeling
related to this feeling
of being stupid and ugly
of being stupid and ugly.
when I'm with my mother.
I'm sorry?
When I am with my mother.
When I am with my mother.
I apologize to myself.
I apologize to myself.
I send us all
I send us all
love,
love,
happiness,
happiness,
and peace.
and peace. Hmm.
Breathe that loving light, that healing light deep into your chest. And switch hands. And take another deep breath. I choose
I choose
to allow forgiveness
to allow forgiveness
to flow through me
to flow through me
and out to everyone
and out to everyone
who hurt me
who hurt me
or that I blamed
and that I blame
for this feeling
of
being stupid and ugly.
being stupid and ugly. Can we do that one again?
Sure. I choose to allow
I choose to allow
forgiveness
forgiveness
to flow through me
to flow through me
and out to everyone
and out to everyone
who hurt me
who currently
or that I blamed
or that I blame
for this feeling
of
being stupid and ugly, including myself.
including myself.
I send us all
I send us all
love,
love,
happiness,
happiness,
and peace.
and peace.
Now allow that love, happiness, and peace to flow from source to you and through you and out to your mother and whomever else. And switch hands. And keep breathing into that darkness in your chest, allowing the light.
Yeah, it's not as blocking.
Right?
Still a little like I have a little bit of what's that? Not acid reflux, but like heartburn a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
There's still a little bit, but I feel like it's, trying to loosen up.
So let's keep flushing it out.
I just burped, so that's good.
All right, the next statement. Thank you, UPS man.
Thank you to my UPS Universal Power Source man
for healing all of the places in my mind, body, and life,
and
life, where this feeling of being stupid and ugly has been stored.
Has what?
Has been stored.
Has been stored. Interesting how I have like selective hearing.
That's not uncommon.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
for healing
the roots, causes, and deepest origins
of
this emotion.
of those emotions. So I'm having this like really strong image of me as a very little girl standing again by a bedside and just having the living crap ripped out of her, in that the knife words and the knife emotions and being just like completely ripped apart.
So surround that little girl right now with a bubble of pure light and love.
It's interesting. The good news is that I've not seen her in this particular age or how she's standing or what she's not fat. This is before I got fat, and it's this solemn, straight haired, like page boyish, and she's got like a jacket on like I have on now.
And let her know that she is loved.
You're so loved.
And she's protected.
And I'm protecting you.
Yeah, your mother is sick.
And my mother is sick. She's standing by that bed from yesterday or the day before. That hospital bed,
Yep.
And she's just like looking. She's not crying. She's just looking.
Okay. Let's keep breathing some love into that. Let's continue the healing.
Mm-hmm.
All the parts of me that receive benefits.
Sorry, all the parts of me
that received
benefits
from holding on to,
from moving on to,
from holding on to,
of holding on to
this feeling
of
being stupid and ugly, are healing now.
Like, how could you be stupid and ugly? You're like just so cute.
Yes, she is. Yes, you are. You don't need to hold on to that. You can let your mother own those feelings, that belief. You don't have to take them on.
Yeah.
And switch hands.
The heartburn's gone.
Good.
That's so weird.
Keep breathing that loving light into it, that loving energy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is left
about
these feelings
of
being stupid and ugly
are
healing now. And just keep breathing in that loving light, letting it flush out the pain.
I'm sorry?
Let it flush out the pain.
Okay.
And switch hands. And continue breathing deeply. I choose
to
feel peace, serenity, and joy where I used to feel stupid and ugly.
Fat and ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid, fat, and ugly. I added the fat. Okay.
And then just see that little girl, see little Maria.
Yeah.
Feeling the peace and joy and serenity. Let her see her in that protective bubble.
Yeah, she just put her hand out to smooth my mom's brow.
And the last statement, thank you, UPS man.
Thank you, UPS man.
For completely integrating. This healing. Now. And keep taking deep breaths until you feel you're done. And then let yourself come back to this space.
Wow. Whew. That was powerful. Well, I didn't expect it to be that fast.
Your years of practice in working with energy through Reiki and Qigong and Tai Chi and other disciplines in your meditative practice has helped you to cultivate your connection to the source, your UPS man. And now you can intentionally use that connection to balance the energy around whatever is tripping you up in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that empowers you to more easily release whatever that issue is.
Yeah, this is I'm grateful.
Now let me quickly just flip over to the cognitive side of this.
Okay. Can we take a quick break?
All right.
This is a good time to like give a little breather because this was pretty heavy. For those of you who've just tuned in, we are working the Pondera process on me. And we'll do a postmortem on that after the break where we thank our sponsors. And we'll be right back in 2 and 2. Don't go away. Not Chuck Woolery, the dating game, but peace in and peace out. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
And it's Dr. Marissa about to report live on the red carpet of the 25th Newport Beach Film Festival, October 17th through 24th. And I'm, again, the proud sponsor of the Chinese Spotlight film. And I get to give away free passes to the Pacific Showcase, which highlights and celebrates all things Asian film, food, and fun. So tune into my show. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, to find out how to win passes for the Asian Oprah giveaway, as well as the promo code. So you can get discount tickets at www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. We'll see you there.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio's #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, the station that leaves no listener behind. And it is the first Thursday of the month, which means we have our newest special series with Empowered Relationship Relief with myself and
Larry Burton.
And we are here actually doing the process that Larry founded, the Pondera Process, which is not just talk help, but talk and energy help at the same time. I've been going through this process. This is part 3 of 3, and working with painful memories that were in the first 2. We looked at painful memories from way past in my upbringing, which is 7 out of 10 of us have had childhood trauma. So very, very useful. If you missed any of those 2 episodes, they're in the special playlist called Empowered Relationship Relief. I invite you to work along with it. I invite you to go to his website, which is www.empoweredselfhelp. And we put that in the chat. And he has a plethora of freebies. He's got downloads. He's got a feelings wheel, the the process for stress, safe space visualization, emotions, the vagus nerve, loving light, process for beliefs, process for gratitude. Please take advantage of it. He's also available for coaching, free trial membership that you'll get lots of affirming and helpful tools. You can become a member for very nominal. How much is it?
$27 a month, less than $1 a day.
Which is my Vegas number, actually. I went on 27 on. I send people with $5 and they put it on there. I've actually won twice, just putting on number 27. So good number. So $27 a month, you get access to even more than the freebies, and just a great process that I can absolutely endorse because it's been helping me so much. This was, you just missed, if you're just tuning in now, the third of 3. And it's just recent history of going home to Canada and, throwing my 90-year-old mom, who is, she's going to own that stuff now. I just spent some time processing so that I am allowing her to have her opinions and her accusations, and I'm not, the memory of that is been replaced from being hurt to helping. And that little girl, that was pretty powerful at the end there when she reached out to smooth the brow of my mom. So thank you for that. So Larry, what just happened so that people can understand too, sort of the process?
Well, what's happening is that you're intentionally tapping into the energy of pure love, which comes from that which is more than you, source, I'm going to call it. And when you do that, it is vibrating. Every emotion has a vibrational energy signature. Love is the highest vibrating one that we experience. You can bring that energy in and direct it with your intention to where you're holding the stuck energy and the painful energy from your experience. And it begins to balance and shift the energy in there. And it allows you to then not be stuck in that memory and in that pain. And you can reframe it. You can, the little girl can see that she really is loved and acceptable, doesn't have to take on her mother's interpretation of who she is. So at the energy level, that's what's happening, is that you're flushing out this stuck energy from that memory and that recent experience. So what I often tell clients when you've had an experience like this with family is that you're finding that you have what I call an energetic bruise. So you have on your energy system from those years being with your mother just activated it, and she acted out, and it just brought back, it triggered that flood of emotions because it was pushing on that pain point in your energy system. So now we're just healing that so that you can't do it. Now, that's all happening on the energy level.
Right.
We need to come over and just address quickly.
Thank you. That's the cognitive side you wanted
of things.
Okay.
All right. And the fact is that we're all surrounded by toxic relationships. That's just part of life. And you have to, part of being healthy and emotionally healthy is to learn to set boundaries. So even with family. And I have certain family members that I know I need to limit my time with because they are toxic. They're only going to bring me down. I call them energy vampires. And
right, I've heard that before.
People, and they're just sucking the energy out of you. You don't have an obligation to stay around them and let them suck you dry.
Yeah, and that's where I think my daughter's coming from, who watches me get so hurt one more time, and the memories of the hurt.
But
So
you appreciate your situation and that you grew up in a culture that told you to honor your elders and to accept what they had. So that was drilled into you much more forcefully than you did to your daughter.
yes,
It's a lot easier for your daughter to let go of that expectation.
right. So, because like I'll say I fly back 2, 3, 4 times a year, right? And I've learned not to stay like 2 weeks. That is like 10 days of the. So it's better, but it's I say I'm not doing it because I feel guilty. I'm doing it because I wouldn't feel good if I didn't do it, and I want to feel good, right? But then she points out that when I'm there, I'm not feeling good, and that they're constantly saying to me, "Don't feel guilty," and it's like, well, yeah, like you said, the Asian culture, lots and lots and lots, and then my mom was unofficially adopted by a Russian Jewish woman, so they're
So you got an Asian Jewish mother. Is that what you're telling me?
yeah. So like it's all, and then a fundamental Baptist religion, evangelical, which is just so it's like I really can't win on like any front on that. So recognizing that, and I'll tell you where it chafes too is I'm a law of attraction student and teacher. And so this whole, you can't make me angry. I allow myself to get angry, or I shouldn't, there's the should word, shoulding on myself. I shouldn't be triggered. Like I should know better. I teach this stuff. I consult in this stuff. I help other people with this stuff. Why am I still getting triggered, or why do I have to set boundaries? It shouldn't bother me.
And I was down the same road and grew up with an alcoholic father and all this stuff that came from that. And after it led me to the edge of a nervous breakdown and then to a divorce. And I realized the shortcomings of traditional self-help. And I have a degree in sociology and social work and read lots and lots of the books and had counseling and all. And it was still coming up incomplete. That's why I realized then that there's an energy component, and we've been trying to solve what are mind-body energy problems with mind-body technique. So you're trying to solve a 3-part problem with a 2-part solution. And I appreciate the law of attraction. I'm well familiar with it, except the majority of that. But there's still the energy component. So all the teaching and all the training and all the counseling you've had didn't get down to the energetic level. Now you have another tool that allows you to do a more complete healing process.
Yeah.
So take the law of attraction, add on the energy component, add on the Pondera process, and you'll see it go much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up judging yourself. You
Right.
start shooting on yourself.
Yeah.
When you're still injured.
Yes. Yeah. And what's interesting is I had heartburn very badly for many, many, many years. And that has like lessened / almost completely disappeared once I stopped drinking, which was 15 and a half years ago. But I think that so when I go there, I feel the heartburn, like it's there, but I only feel it to heal it, when I am focused on the energy. If I'm focused up here and the cognitive side of it, I don't feel it in here. It's there, but I don't feel it to heal it. I have to feel it to heal. So it's interesting because that went very quickly for where the pain was. It was like not like I didn't have to do a body scan. Like with some of my clients, like we'll start up here, we'll go down and find out where the blocked energy is. But that was so fast, like it was like boom, it was right there, and then it was very quickly done. And and I remember the first time doing this process with you, like I had the visceral, no, I'm not forgiving. No, I'm not, and that's such a powerful, when you don't forgive them, you cannot forgive you. And when you cannot forgive you, you really can't forgive them. That really was like this giant aha, because I'm all about forgiving others because I want to be able to feel good and not be acid reflux every time I think about them. But what that piece that was missing was I have to forgive myself before I can forgive them. And that was like, oh, shiitake.
You have to forgive yourself in addition to an imbalance with others.
Yes.
Because we were all part of the dance. We both did the dance.
Yes. And that toxic relationship. And I do understand, because I tell people all the time, nothing you did when you were a kid warranted or deserved that. However, it is your responsibility to deal with that now. And I guess I'm preaching to my choir in that by not setting boundaries. And I don't know why. You know what it is, Larry? I think it's psychobabble. I have this real issue with psychobabble. So things like I want to talk about my feelings or setting boundaries. It triggers my, I can't stand psychobabble, but I got to look at that. Right. Yeah. So I think I can choose not to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
So
just boundaries are one aspect of it, but I can tell you, as immersed as I am in energy psychology and the value of it, I still need my boundaries.
Yeah.
I need to respect, and it's,
yeah.
I should tell you, I learned a valuable lesson. You don't answer questions that aren't being asked.
You don't
answer questions that are not being asked. So I look around and
I'm writing that one down. I love learning new things.
I see the dysfunction within my extended family because we were doing a 90th birthday for my mother 2 weeks ago. And I can see the dysfunction so clearly in different family dynamics, but nobody's asking for help, so I'm not offering it. And I don't have a responsibility to heal it because you can't help somebody till they want to help themselves.
You don't answer questions that are not being asked. Okay. That's kind of like I don't give advice unless I'm getting paid.
There you go. Same thing. Exact same thing.
So, and I think if I reframe boundaries to, I have to, of course I say this all the time, it's my UPS man or God or whatever you want to call that power source out there first. And then instead of others, which you learn in Sunday school, everybody else is important and they're more, we're here to make other people happy and service others and be of good service. That's not true. It's God or UPS man or Krishna or Buddha or whoever you want to call it. Then self, then others. And I say this all the time. So now I understand that boundaries is just an active way of making sure that order is as is. So now I cannot be so reactive to the word boundaries. It's just a way to ensure that I'm going to be okay. So until I am much better at not being reduced to that abused kid, I should limit.
Or we can explore what are ways that you can know when you're with your mother and you know she's going to act out, because that's the only way she knows to try to get her needs met.
Yes.
Strategies that you can use to address that. So you go in with an exit strategy, if you will.
Yeah.
A way to protect yourself. Because the tendency coming from your upbringing is to take that insult, to believe that it's true, and then to globalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So then it becomes all encompassing.
Yes.
You know, and that's not where it is. It's just her opinion. That doesn't make it true.
Yeah. It is a big, and 88%, well, maybe 78% of the time, I am able to neutralize it before it actually like does something. But it's more difficult when I'm there in person. It's more difficult when I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
and it's interesting. It's it's a really, I appreciate some of my clients who say I cannot have any contact at all because it's just so toxic that it's just better to not have any contact. And I've had spiritual leaders tell me that, and it just hasn't felt right. So, but I like the way you said, just limit contact.
You manage it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just got to find out what's working. And it's if you're with a person and they've got the knives out, you don't want to get too close to them.
That's true. And I just looked at the time. Yeah. I don't know how this happens. It's just like it's like beep beep the road runner. Like I'll go, oh, we got plenty of time. And then all of a sudden I look again and we're out of time. So Larry Burton, my co-host on Empowered Relationship Help, did another home run with the Pondera Process. Please go to his website to take advantage of his freebies as well as his help. Don't do this stuff alone. Even he has the freebies, but don't do it alone. Whether it's working with someone, best friend, working with Larry, it's a good idea. Thank you so much. This was awesome. We'll see you first Thursday of the month next week. Make sure you can always get this on my YouTube TV channel because that's just the way it is. I am everywhere all the time. Go ahead and free subscribe. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in. Peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go, take us out, and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow with the Hollywood Ricky Rebel Report. Thanks for tuning in.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.